Hey everybody, we are going to have a look at engaging students within teams, and we're going to have a look at using assignments and also chat with links and a simple method of what processes you might use, what files you might use, and how the students can see these files within teams, especially within sort of modules and classwork and things like that. And also we're going to show you how sharing within a file, within a folder, doesn't give the students access to everything in that folder. The students would just have access to that particular file. If, for whatever reason, you've decided that isn't as safe as you'd like it, which is totally understandable, how just put in those files and how you're able to set one for every single student or for future students who are turning up late, or you've got a new group, or whatever scenario this is, the students will be able to see everything within Teams and converse within Teams, as well as open those files within Teams within a little window. So as always, I'm just going to go and pause this, and then I'm going to go into split view where we have both a teacher and a student view at the same time. So here we are, I've got Teams open in this window. I've had to go and just pull this window over slightly because this will disappear. I think we discussed how why this looks like this, and this is because we have it set in tiles, and students have this set in tiles automatically, I believe. Students rarely change the settings. If they do, then they generally, by and large, they know what they're doing. They're free tinkerers. But by and large, they are like this. And it's like this on an iPad as well. As soon as the students go into office.com, the iPads will look like this. They can go into Teams in there in WebView, providing that they are using Safari. Safari seems to be working pretty well. Edge will work, but just understand that Safari and Edge are made of different things. So Edge on here, they have a different skin on an iPad, so they look slightly different, and they behave slightly differently too. So if they are using Safari, they can go into Teams, they go into Office, and they will see this. So what I'm going to do first is just show that this EdTech tips and tricks as a student, they will see this and they see the assignment, and you can see that it looks exactly the same as you. But the difference here that you have in Teams is that in Classroom there is no student view. So if you've got your Classroom up on the board on your screen, you can't show a page of what the students will actually see, and we'll just go and have a look at that right now. That is one of the key differences that I see. It's tiny, it's a tiny difference, but it is a key difference. So I'm just going to go and pause this so you're not watching what I'm doing bit by bit, but you'll see this in a second. So as I go into my student here, normally I'll have my list of students, and this is I'm going into Mackenzie's here. So as I go into the student view here, this is what you would see, but then you can take action in student view. So this is the actual assignment that the students will actually see. So let's go into this assignment. That's what students see. So you're able to go and show that side by side, or on your on your screen, as you can see it side by side here, and the students, you can show exactly what the students see over here. Right, so I've just popped back into assignments in here, and across the top you can see what's occurring. Ready to grade, past due, which Mackenzie can see over here. The students can see over here what's in past due, and you can see what's being returned, and of course you've got drafts that are about to be made and sent. So let's go and make an assignment. So I'm going to go full screen in here, and then we're going to go and just have a look at how these are made real quick and what they look like when they're sent. So here we are, full screen. I'm going to go and create one. I'm going to go make a new assignment. We're going to come to these later. Some of you may have made ones already, or you have repeated files. So you can go and create one from an existing set of learning or assignments that you've made, and you can go and reuse it. It's very handy for multiple classes, particularly in specialists. So I can add it to my calendars. In Google Drive, I'm not sure there is a split. You can go and drop it onto students only. They get notifications as to when something's going to be about to need to be handed in. The deadline's approaching. Dates, pretty self-explanatory. This is pretty important sometimes because you've got all current students. If you know that you've got students that are going to be arriving sort of the next week, or particularly if this is an ongoing assignment that's going to be reused, you can set it to all future students, and then individuals, and then obviously groups, so you can go create your groups. Rubrics, really handy. So you can go and create a rubric. So let's go and have a look at this one, and you can help your rubrics, and you can use something similar to ChatGPT to go and help you create your rubric and go and score things. One small thing that's new is adding a reflection at check-in. So when they come here or they go and hand their work in, you can get a check-in, which is how they're feeling about this particular item, and at a glance, it's actually quite handy. You can see who struggled, who enjoyed it, who didn't like it, or who was just sort of nonplussed. But strangely, when I've used this, the students have quite enjoyed reflecting on it. It's just sort of an instant picture. So it looks like this, and it can go and tell you what it looks like, and you can customize these as well. So what are these? So attachment is something from your computer, like I did with the sound. You can go and attach part of your team, a link, which is probably going to be the most common. Notebooks we'll use later, and then OneDrive is anything that you've got stored. So with OneDrive, again, you probably tried this. So inside my student learning, I didn't have a file in there, but I was going to go and add that in a second. So we can add a piece, a PowerPoint, a piece of work, or a document later on from our attachment. We can go and upload that from our device, and of course OneDrive. You can add one new. What I would do here is just check what you've got in terms of the links and how it's shared. You can change this. If I go make a new one, it'll ask for you for a name. Let's go and put today's learning. You can't put apostrophes in here. Today's learning. So I'm going to go into here. It says students can't edit, but they can view it. Then you've got students edit their own copy, which we've talked about before. So if students can't edit, what we can do is go onto this sort of ellipsis menu here. If you open it up in PowerPoint Online, you can then run that tip that I mentioned about the share. Now it will be open to everyone inside that team. You can see that I've got my the access in here, so it's inside my group, so they can edit, and their EdTech owner and EdTech tricks and owners can edit it. So you pop into the link, and if you go and create a new link in here, and then just check that it says edit and people at Bangkok Battana, anybody who's signed in, then you can copy the link and then paste it, and just make sure that if it doesn't work, for example, if you know that these things are problematic, you can attach a link in there to that file. Today's learning. Let's call it learning. Attach. All right, and then you have a failsafe then if you're finding that things aren't working. So now we've got this sort of backup, and you're able to go and use either one. You can use either one however you feel comfortable, whether you want a link or whether you want the actual PowerPoint itself, or if you are going to download it and then use it again from an upload, that's your choice as well. So let's go on a little bit further. Big differences between Classroom and Teams again is that in Classroom you can't add sort of images to the instructions. So it means that sometimes if you have your learning intentions and your success criteria and any other pieces of media that you want the students to focus on, it means that you've got to go and take the text out and copy it in here. With Teams, you don't have to do that. So here I've put learning intention. Can I use Teams? I can attach files, I can attach links, I can add it for all current students, you name it. You don't have to do that anymore. You can use images. So what you can do is, let's say I've got this PowerPoint, for example, that's on my screen, and you can go and export your PowerPoint as images. So it means that if you go and export your PowerPoints that you have converted already, you can just go into images and upload your exports. And I've got my exports here, so I'm just going to use two, for example, these 1 and 2, slides 1 and 2. And it will go and add the images directly into the Teams, so the students can see this directly in here. While I was talking about students not needing to leave Teams, is a quick and easy solution to allowing the students to very quickly open up the PowerPoint. Let's go and add this PowerPoint real quick that I had previously. Let's go and make one real fast. I'm just going to call this learning 2, and it's going done, and that's going to go and add it in here. The students are able to go and open this directly in Teams, and so they can open it and view it directly in the window. So it's using Teams as a browser. The students can then see everything real quickly, learning intentions, you name it, directly into that file. The same with the pictures. It means you can add any other picture in there also. So I can use Teams. Can I add files? Can I add links? As to two pieces of success criteria right there. So down the bottom here, you'll also notice that as I was typing, I've now got prompts that are being used from something similar to ChatGPT, or it could well be ChatGPT, seeing as Microsoft have bought it. You can go and add detail, and it'll generate detail, and you can go and add prompts, and then it will give you time-saving devices within here. And you can make it sort of more simple. You can regenerate it, and you say make it for a 7-year-old. You can copy this and then go and put it into another language, for example. If you have a student who is new to English, you can go and copy and paste this and put it straight into German for a 8-year-old, for example. So last couple of things now is just on the settings here. You can add a grade level. Let's go, so we've got grade 8, it's a bit high. Let's go into grade 5. And then we can go and add language, English, just like I said, it could be in German. And then you can go and change it that way. So with it being in German, and for grade 5, it's got emojis in there just to sort of sparkle it up a little bit. And the last thing you can do in here that is very tricky to do in Classroom is adding sort of apps that you can sign into specifically. Such as Kahoot, for example. Kahoot's in here somewhere, and you can sign into Kahoot, and the Kahoots will open up directly into your assignment. Finally, when we have a look at Teams a little bit closer, got your grades and insights. The insights will give you a sort of a Power BI readout, and you can see how well the students are engaging, or you can compare grades across classes very simply just by going into here and using the Excel and the list and BI formats. Right, that's about it, because we're well over time now. It's 14 minutes. This is so long. Things I will have definitely missed off here, especially with engaging students with Teams. So once we've gone and assigned this, I'm going to go and assign it by putting a date. So the last bits really are just taking a look at what the students will see now. So here's my assignment that we've just made. If I take a look in the student view, this is the bit in German. So I made this specifically for this child and just used the ChatGPT function to rerun it in German with an attached PowerPoint. Over in here in their assignments, this is the student view. I can go and open this up and the students see this. And then they can go and open this up within Teams and they can see what will be in that slide or for those slides. So that's generally it. The last little tip is that these students, you can go into Immersive Reader, and so you can go into this assignment and the students can go and see this in different languages also. So they can also go and see things with picture dictionaries, and so they can rehash this in a separate language. So if we want to put this back into English, for example, if we can find English, and then they can read it in English. You can see it changing here, and it will speak to them. So that's it for Teams. I'll leave it here. Any things that you see in this video that have caught your eye and you'd like to go and delve a little bit deeper, I can run these in my classes, and you can see, and I can run a specific session for a specific topic, file, action within Teams within my tech classes, or I can run it with you in your classes, or one-on-one, 1 to 2, however you feel you're comfortable learning. Right, that's it. This one's a long one. Good luck.